Hello, I think we are on.
Okay, hello. Leanne and I are trying something new, so we'll see if this is being streamed on both of our channels. I don't know
Yeah.
how to check that, but wherever you are, hello.
Yeah, hi. Well, if there is anybody who's on with us right now, if you could just leave a comment to say, "Hey, we see you," that would be amazing.
hmm
Yeah.
And maybe we can give people a few minutes
Yeah.
to settle in. Emily, Hope, hello.
Yes. Hope, hi. Hi, Emily. Oh, this is awesome.
Oh, good. Glad you
Oh,
can see
great.
and hear us.
Okay. Oh, this.
Oh, Leanne, I think I know what the gradation is. It's the chat.
Oh. Yeah, we were wondering. So Alice and I, before we went live, I was noticing that there was like this gray gradation on Allison's side of the screen. We're trying to troubleshoot that and figure out like what was going on, but now we know it's so that all the comments can be posted. That's amazing.
That makes sense. Hi,
Anna,
Anna.
hello. Awesome. Yeah.
Yay. So glad you can see us. It's so nice to meet you in real time. I was going to say in live, but real time.
Live, yeah. IRT in real time. Um, so yeah, well, I know, so excited.
Yeah, so are we. So
Yeah.
are we, Hope.
Oh my goodness. Do you have a beverage or a snack, or do you want to do that now, or shall we wait a little bit? What do you think?
Maybe we can get started on that. And I would actually really love to hear what everyone else is drinking and eating. Hi, home to Heather.
Home to Heather's here too.
Thanks so much for
Wonderful.
joining. So good to see all of you. Um, okay, I can start. I have a variety of beverages. So my first beverage is my second coffee of the day, tilted a bit so you can see. And then on the side, I've got my hot water ready to go. And then my snack, we're out of bowls, so I've got cherries, Bing cherries.
Bing cherries looks so delicious.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Bing cherries, let's see, today's a Monday, right? So last weekend, I went to kind of like my partner's happy hour, work happy hour get together. It was in someone's backyard, and the whole event centers around a cherry pit spitting contest. And
Oh,
they had Rainier cherries and Bing cherries, and I'm very competitive, so I said I'm going to take part in this. And so I just want to say, guess who was third place and top female cherry spitting winner?
that's impressive.
Yeah.
What distances are we talking here?
I don't know it in metric, but it's
Mm.
21 feet and 3 inches. So
That's far.
yeah, yeah. No, it was far. I don't know how many yards that would be. But what is 21 feet and 3 inches into yards?
21.25 feet is 7.08 yards.
7.08 yards. Anyway, Bing stones they go much further than Rainier stones, FYI. But
Oh, interesting. Okay, good to know. I've never attempted this, but I'm still kind of like processing the fact that you managed to get it that far.
yeah.
Oh
Oh,
no, that's so lovely that you started the Artist's Way. Curious, what week are you on? And Hope, freshly squeezed watermelon juice.
oh,
That
amazing.
sounds so good. That's like a snack and a beverage.
It totally is. Wow. Okay. We've got Anna from Argentina. My goodness. Hello. I'm curious to know where everyone else is from too. So your
Mhm.
beverage that you might be
6.5
drinking.
liters. I think we learned something new about you, Leanne. This spinning skills.
Yeah, the all around winner, they went like 26 feet, 27 feet, and we were comparing notes like okay, what are the overlapping skills? He says he spits really well. I'm like, I can't really spit well. He's like, well, I can do some, skipping stones. He can skip up to 40 times. And I was like, well, I skip stones really well too. We were trying to figure out what the overlap was. Yeah. Florida, T. Okay.
Emotional support water bottle. Love that. Uncrustables. What is an Uncrustable?
You don't know what an Uncrustable is?
Do
It's-
I need to get one now?
I think you need to get one just to try one, but I've got like dietitian friends who say it's the perfect snack. You've got
Really?
protein, you've got well, I think it's mostly protein. You've got protein and you've got your carbs, all that in one perfect, tidy little packet. Oh, wow. Okay, San Diego, Florida.
Oh, they kind of look like wait, are they like sandwiches?
They're like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. They either grape jelly, strawberry jelly. I don't know if there are any other flavors, but I think it's primarily strawberry or grape.
Okay, those look delicious. I love a good strawberry and jam
Yeah.
sandwich. So now I'm wondering how I never heard of this. But
Yeah.
it looks like they sell them at Costco, so
Yeah, they're
maybe.
delicious. I mean, and they're wonderful. They freeze well. You keep them in the freezer. And then if you want a couple for the next day, you just pop them in the fridge and they're ready for you the next day.
Okay.
Okay, home to Heather's from Calgary, a fellow Canadian.
Hello. Hopefully the wildfires aren't affecting you. The wildfire smoke has spread to Toronto today, and we had an air quality rating of 11, which is like the worst that we've had in a really long time. So I hope it's okay in Alberta. We also have Melly Rose joining us. Hello. Drinking tea. That sounds so comforting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Emily, what does your emotional support water bottle look like? Is it one of the ones with like the built-in straws? Because that makes a lot of sense in a water bottle.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
That's good. That is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for me, I have this probably won't come as it won't be a surprise to anybody. I haven't really changed my drink of choice in months. It seems like I kind of go on to a daily obsessive kick until I'm absolutely sick of it and I won't drink it probably for another few years. But this is my chai mix with my coffee, espresso, and I've got milk in here and I frothed it with a little hand mixer or like those little tiny whirring mixers. A little bit of honey and it's delicious. Yeah, it's my first cup. My first and only cup. I actually don't drink more than one. If I drink any after 11:30 a.m., I'm up till 2 a.m. So I can only stick to one before 11:30. But yeah.
I need to try this drink. I need to try this Leanne's special recipe dirty chai.
Yeah, I think I'll have to share it on Patreon. That and and I also want to let everybody know our last conversation we talked about the rock collection that I had, and I did record it. I just need to post it onto Patreon, but I do have it. It's just really cute. They're just cute little rocks. They're so
Well, I
cute.
especially want to see like how similar they are to the ones that your son
Yeah.
chose.
Yeah, I know they're very similar. They look like pebbles and his are just a little bit bigger. So adorable. So I'll have to share that video. Yeah.
Emily says straws are crucial. Camelback water bottle. It's a cute cartoon star. That's so cute. When you say camelback, I'm thinking of like the backpacks you can wear when you're running. Is it like one of those, like the squishy? Do you know those?
Oh yeah, the bladders. Those
Oh,
silicone
okay, it's called a
bladders.
bladder. Yeah.
I mean, I've seen Camelback water bottles, and I think I might have had one before, way back when.
Oh, okay.
A cartoon straw. A cartoon star straw topper. Wow, that was hard to say. This is amazing iced as well, FYI. Okay. Anyway, shall we get started?
Yeah. Shall we start with some shout outs?
Yeah. Yes, please. Okay. Shout outs. I mean, anybody come to mind right now?
Yeah, well, as always, I know we say this in every conversation, but thank you so much for taking the time to like share all of your really thoughtful, thought-provoking thought-provoking comments. Um, Shout out to OSB, who gave us some encouragement to continue following our curiosity, growing our skill set. And there was a little nod to Leanne on your poetry, producing that poetry. We haven't forgotten about.
Yeah, that was an encouragement for sure. So I did write some ditties. Oh, they're like limericks right now. They're little limericks and the little limerick ditties. And I'm like, I hear my inner critic, but I'm gonna keep writing these ditties, and these ditties will grow up one day. They'll continue to evolve. And this is where I'm starting. Cute little kindergarten limerick ditties.
That's amazing. Well, anytime you're ready to share them, I'm sure we would love to hear them. See, Hope would love to hear it.
I love a limerick. They're the best. Yeah. You know what? I think the only way that I could probably read a limerick out loud to all of you is to think of my kindergarten self on stage reading the limerick. Yeah, so that's okay, sure, I will do it. There's a part of me that feels a little embarrassed, but not but and I think it would be a wonderful exercise to allow that little, maybe not 5-year-old, because 5-year-old Leanne did not know how to write or read, but probably more like 7 or 8. So 7 or 8-year-old Leanne will perform her little limerick. So
that would be amazing. This is a safe space too. So when you're ready, we'll create some time for you. And I'm sure we'll all be very excited.
Oh man.
Look, you're getting some encouragement.
Hey. Oh man, I'm getting nervous already. Butterflies. I'm like, do I do it today? Do I do it today?
We'll see how you feel.
Yeah, let's see how I feel. The butterflies are definitely there. But I don't know if anybody's heard of this phrase, but somebody says that when you get butterflies in your stomach, there's something about it was a TED talk. It came from a TED talk, but you get butterflies in your stomach. You basically just teach them to fly right, or like fly in formation. Get your butterflies to fly in formation as a way to like harness the nerves. But it's not a bad thing if you have butterflies in your stomach. So maybe I'll just harness them to fly in formation. So we'll see. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
onto the stage. Yeah.
That's a good visual. Like just kind of rechanneling that energy into something like productive. Okay.
Yeah. And because we have comments from all over, so we have when we post our videos onto YouTube, we have some folks that comment there. Some folks comment on our podcast posts. Some folks will comment on our videos. But I also just wanted to say, Marilyn Darling also left some comments talking about their synchronicity this past week or 2 weeks prior. It's just fun to share all these synchronicities. For them, they were just talking about how one day they take public transportation, and one day it was just a seamless transit from one place to the next, where, normally you're waiting 5 minutes, 20 minutes. They didn't have to wait at all. It was just got off the stop and went on to the next. And it was just a seamless way to go about their day. So yay for that synchronicity. But
when the world is on your side, that's great. It reminds me of like when you're walking, you're just hitting every green light, so you don't have to stop and you can just keep walking.
Totally. Oh, okay. So we have the artisana is here.
Excitement versus anxiety. That's such a good way to put it.
Yeah.
They can feel really similar. So it's good to be able to like rechannel or discern between the two.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you so much, Hope.
Yeah.
Yes, we're really enjoying it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Can I just say, let me see. Okay, Nancy said they'll try to drop into the live stream later today. First of all, I'm loving all of these metaphors about hiking up a mountain path and not being able to see, or that the breakthrough happens typically when you have to hike past you reach a certain elevation and you have to go through the clouds in order to gain. Yeah, just to gain a better view or to gain, gosh, the mists. Yeah, Hope talks about the mists.
That's what, yeah, I was just reading that one too. Like, yes, don't hike alone. I love that. And that's a really strong visual of hiking through the mist to
Yeah.
achieve that high peak. I actually haven't hiked in that way before. That sounds kind of scary. So I would be really happy to have a companion with me if I were doing that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It also reminds me, there was this YouTuber that we were watching who is into all these adventurous hikes, and the hike that they went on recently was descending down into the Grand Canyon. And so, yeah, I was just thinking, not only is it about ascents, but it's also descents, and thinking about, yeah, the climate changes when you hit the very bottom of the Grand Canyon. It's lush, it's green, and when the thunderstorms come through, it's so wet, and it's, and just thinking about how that change in elevation, even as you drop in elevation, it's arduous and different climates, and you wouldn't even know that unless you were there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Miss Marilyn Darling is here too.
Hi, Miss Marilyn, darling.
Hi. Yeah, we just talked about you, Marilyn Darling, about your synchronicity. So thanks for sharing that synchronicity. Yeah.
I also really loved Home to Heather's gardening analogy. There always being in abundance elsewhere in the ecosystem. I think that is such a great visual as well. Yeah, Leanne, you're right. These metaphors are on point.
Mm-hmm.
And I really liked the idea of having an abundance of available inspiration if like time isn't available to you, because I think that is something that we have touched on and we've noticed throughout this 6-7 weeks is just the lack of time to be able to really like dedicate towards this.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was a really nice reframe.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I encourage, if for those of you who may not be on our Patreons, please join us, because there are just some really, I say this every week, but we have such deep folks who are part of this community, and when they share their insights or their experiences, it's so deep. I can't say it more eloquently or more profoundly than, it's not even profound. It's just deep folks here, deep folks.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of learning, a lot of shared learning. Yeah.
Hi, Moonlit Journal. Oh my goodness.
So good to see you.
Thank you so much for joining us. I know it's in the middle of the day, so we really appreciate your time.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Marilyn Darnett, a surgeon? Wow. Wow. So yeah, anything else that you're thinking of, Alison, before we kind of dive into the book and the journey?
I think that's it. Yeah,
Okay.
let's get into it.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So,
Hi,
oh,
Heather E.
Heather E is here. It's hard to carry on a conversation, because I'm seeing the comments. I'm like, oh my goodness, they're here. They're here. But thank you, Alison. I think we talked about you being in charge of kind of moderating or hearing the comments. So I'll just kind of stick to trying to talk about the book. Let's talk about the book.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so we are 6 weeks in, and in some ways 6 weeks doesn't feel like a long time. It feels very short, but then also it's felt like a long time. It's almost, I don't know about you, but it feels like we've entered into like this time warp a little bit. There's a lot of deconstruction, reconstruction, assessing, planning, digging that has been more than what you and I think had expected. But here we are. We're coming up for air 6 weeks in, and I'm just excited to hear how you've been doing, what's been good, what's been bad, what's been easy, what's been, I just want to hear kind of all that highs and lows, anything that's been unexpected. And to think we're only halfway in, and to think, wow, we're already halfway done. It's kind of all of it. And so anyway, I'm just saying all that, and I'm curious for those of you too. I know that there are some folks who are early on in the journey, some who've already finished it, and they're just sharing some of their reflections. But we're all on this path. We're all on various points of it. Some actually have already finished it, and it's almost like hiking through the Pacific Crest Trail. I think for those who have gone before you, they leave little notes, or they might leave little artifacts along the way. And I feel that. But then I also know that we're traveling across this path as well. And I think we're also leaving gifts for those who are, just a few miles behind us. But anyway, a lot of that I just shared, but where are you at? How are you feeling?
Yeah. So as I share, I'd also love to see in the comments, if you're open to it. I'd love to hear, we'd love to hear where you're at, what week you're on, what stage of the Artist Way journey are you? Are you someone who's considering it? Are you someone who started it? Are you someone who's done it before? It would be great to collect your experiences and hear your stories. As for us, I guess we're sort of just wrapping up week 7, so we're more than halfway. I'm gonna be on the glass half full side of things, because you're right, Leanne. It has been a journey.
Mm-hmm.
I think every week I have a moment where I'm questioning how one has responsibilities and does this program, honestly. And I would have to say that I'm in the predictable part of the journey where I'm starting to skip steps, like I'm not drinking my water as often as I should, or I'm not maybe nourishing myself at every checkpoint. I'm doing the bare minimum to get to the next stage.
Mm-hmm.
And when I compare how I was in weeks 1 and 2, where I was probably completing, the majority of the tasks, I was doing the morning pages, I was really excited about the artist dates. And now it's like, oh, it's Sunday. What can I do before my conversation on Monday? So I don't know. I think I've reached that point where I'm tired. And now I'm really leaning on this community, because I think if I didn't have all of you to talk to, I don't know if I would still be doing it, to be honest. Or I'd probably have to repeat weeks, or I'd probably have to take a break. But the problem with me is if I take a break, sometimes I just don't go back. So I get a little bit I have to just keep going, because I'm not always the best at natural pauses. I'm like an all or nothing kind of person with this type of thing. So I don't think I would finish it. I see
Yeah.
you nodding, Leanne. I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
Oh yeah. I was, as you were saying that, you're saying that once you take a break, it's hard for you to actually get back. And I was just thinking that's exactly how I am, especially when it comes to even chores, when I have to organize something or I'm cleaning a room. I know that as soon as I sit down, if as soon as I sit down and I'm trying to organize things, it's game over. I will not finish my project. It's something about sitting down. So in that way too, I know that I wouldn't be 6 weeks in had it not been for us doing this Patreon video conversation weekly, if not for our community with them, just sharing and encouraging and us supporting each other along the way. That sort of accountability is crucial because I I honestly thought it would be better if I just didn't read through. I know Marilyn Darling did read the whole book through before embarking on the journey. And in some ways, I think that in a lot of ways, I think that's really helpful because you know what to expect. I came into it only having done maybe chapter 1. Even that, I only did it half-heartedly. I remember when I first got this book, and I didn't know how much it would require of me. And I mean it on an emotional sense. And I think
Mhm.
for me too, I'm somebody who likes, I'm the type that just kind of goes there. If I need to rip a Band-Aid, I rip the Band-Aid. I kind of go all in, and it's required a lot out of me. And I think there have been times where it's been difficult. And then I think it really helps when we can process it together.
Yeah.
So that sort of processing really has helped me. If I were to do this on my own, I had mentioned this in a previous conversation, I think I would have second guessed myself. And then I would be able to process it with anybody had I done this on my own. It is,
Mhm.
it is a lot of work. It's really gratifying though.
Mhm.
But it has required a lot of time, a lot of soul searching.
Yes, and I agree, and I think it's not only time, it really is energy, because one could argue that the sentence completion type of activities could be done in a matter of seconds. Like the idea is to avoid the censor and just get whatever comes out. But I sent Leanne a message for one of the sentence completion tasks where I had to just stop at a certain point because it was getting really deep, and it was like too late at night for me to go there because I was thinking I need to go to bed soon, and we're now starting to get deep in the trenches where I'm going to start feeling really sad. So I actually, I was grateful that I was able to send a screenshot of what I was doing with Leanne and say, like, here's where I'm at. It's too hard. Go to bed, basically. Like, that was kind of my message. So it has been really nice to just to have these checkpoints, and to be able to share in these moments with all of you, because it's not easy. And yeah, again, sometimes even we wonder if we're taking it there because we're used to taking it there. And I'm curious if others have felt um, this sense of like emotional turmoil throughout. I mean, I think Julia says that is expected.
Mhm.
um, I just hope that it's like maybe we started here, maybe we're down here, but
Mhm.
I hope it eventually goes back. Just going to take a quick look at the comments. Okay, so um, okay, Emily's on week 9. Oh, okay, share your wisdom with us. Does it get better, Emily? um, Hope says this is first time on Artist Way, just starting week 7. Okay, so similarly to us, hoping to read the chapter before this live stream. No worries. I don't think we'll probably talk too much about week 7 today, unless it's relevant. Miss Marilyn Darling, same timeline. Yeah, read the entire book and then went back and started doing all the things the daily pages and watching out for things better. Yeah. So it's sort of like depends on who you are. Like if you haven't started the artist way and you're considering it, I think there are two very valid paths where you could read the whole thing really quickly and just know what you're in for, or you could dive in blind like we did.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, that's, I guess, another interesting approach. Miss Marilyn Darling has been looking at the world in a different light and doing more art. I think that is true for that's been my experience as well. Noticing all the synchronicities, like just noticing, I think, and definitely doing my art.
Yeah. No, that's true. I've reconnected with my inner artist, that inner child, so much so that no joke, I talk about that with, I mean, these happy hours or meeting with people, meeting new people. I'm always asking them, especially if I get a feel for them being a very creative person, I'm asking them, how are they tapping into their creativity? And I was actually encouraging one of these new friends that I made. I was encouraging them, hey, so yeah, what did you do when you were a kid? What did you like to do? What was your creative outlet? And they talked about singing and performing. And so I said, well, how are you tapping into that these days? So I've noticed that I'm always talking about creativity and what did your inner creative self used to do when you were a child? I mean, it comes up a lot, and it comes up in work a lot. I've encouraged some clients to go on artist dates. I haven't necessarily told them specifically go on an artist date, but I did say, yeah, what did you enjoy doing when you were, 8 to 12 years old? And try doing something to kind of spark that inner creativity, that young creative self. Yeah. So I have definitely encouraged folks more than once.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you were saying, your happy hours in Meanville, I was thinking that I was like, this would be such a great thing to do in, like in our work. Yeah. Okay. I love that. You're always inspiring me. Okay. Home to Heather says the Artist Way was a goal for 2024. I did it up to this point, week 6 or 7. I felt like I got what I needed out of it, so I set it aside and continue with morning pages. Following with you has been a fantastic refresher, and I'm interested to see how you continue past where I was. So am I. So am I, Home to Heather. I know, I feel very confident we're going to finish. Even though everything I just said before, I wasn't sure, but I know we're going to do it. Miss Marilyn Darling says, I used to be a profound photographer. I would take over 1,000 photos.
Wow.
At weddings. Oh, how'd you do that?
Can you do that on your interface? I just saw that if I click on a comment, it'll say show.
Oh, okay.
Do you have that capability on your side?
No.
Okay. So as you're reading, maybe I'll find the comment and highlight it.
Okay. That's awesome. Okay. Yes. So Miss Marilyn Darling used to be a profound photographer, would take over 1,000 photos at weddings and out and about, but then stopped. Oh, and trying to pick it up again. Well, feel free to share any photos that you want to. We would love to see any photos you're taking. That's amazing. Okay, Hope says, Alison, I'm so totally with you. I love the sense of constantly moving forward. Yeah. Can't break that momentum.
Yeah, totally.
I've done it before and I know what happens.
Oh, man. Yeah. It says Nancy's here too. Hi, Nancy.
Hi, Nancy. I love your username. Miss Marilyn Darling asks if we have a Discord. We don't.
Yeah, the reason why I don't have a Discord is I can barely kind of maintain, like I think just being able to do Patreon and YouTube that has been great. I would love to do Discord, but I feel like my capacity, I wouldn't be able to show up in the way that I would want to. I wish, but I think right now, it feels like it might be, yeah. I would create the community, but then I won't even show up. I think.
That's what I worry about
Yeah,
too.
I'm kind of at capacity in that regard, but I mean, in my dreams, I would love to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, Miss Marilyn Darling has a tip. I highly recommend finding the PDF online and getting a reader extension and having it read to you at a faster pace than you can read because it will make more sense. It has
Oh.
brought a new spark to the imagination that I haven't seen in a while. Okay, that's a good tip.
Yep.
That was when I was in school, people were always saying to get an e-reader for studying, and I never tried it.
It's
But
honestly, it's hard for me. I think I'm analog all the way. There's something about flipping through pages, physical pages, but I love the idea of e-readers or even having audio. Oh, and also I forget, somebody had mentioned that there is an old recordings on YouTube of Julia Cameron reading the original edition of the book in her voice, which is really nice to hear. I've only listened to like the first chapter and then I kind of stopped, but it's good to have as like a resource too.
yeah, well, because that also helps. Like I, although I haven't tried it myself, I've heard other people will. Then you can do some of your other chores or other things that, you can kind of do double time. Like if you don't have a lot of time to sit down and read the book, then that's another way that you can get at the information. So I think that is a really good tip. And whether you hear it narrated by Julia Cameron or just getting like an e-reader, I mean, a reader extension. I'm just like, why have I never tried that? I don't know. I feel like I should at least try like an
Yeah.
audiobook or something. But yeah, I'm very analog as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Miss Marilyn Darling said, same, I managed to bring up all the things in a crying mess. Okay, so it sounds like it was quite a tough journey for you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It can be.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious to know. I mean, I think Hope had also mentioned it, but just saying, yeah, there are people who've gone there, as in, yeah, we get into the thick of the emotions when journaling, when doing the morning pages, when doing these exercises. I'm curious to know how everybody processes it. I think for me, it's been, and probably for Alison too, just to be able to talk about it out loud, and that we have a weekly appointment where we are talking about it. That has been really helpful. But then for those of you who are doing it in tandem with us, I'm curious to know what happens when you do the unraveling and you notice all these big emotions, how you take care of yourself to have that sense of containment. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's a coincidence. I mean, it's probably a synchronicity, a coincidence in that when we have our conversations, that's been really helpful. It's also been very healing because there are things that you have noticed in me, highlighting and encouraging. That's been great. Even noticing, saying things out loud that I didn't think were synchronicities, and they in fact were. But there are also times in my huge emotions, thankfully I have a little rebounder, a mini trampoline. I found myself jumping on it and doing punches and swearing and, sometimes just crying things out and just releasing some of that pent up energy. So that's really helpful for me. I walk. What's interesting, I haven't really been running in the past month or so, but I'm trying to find ways to just move my body. The trampoline really helps, even just to get like a 3-minute jumping session in and to just like shake my body. That has been helping.
Yeah. I think those are all really good things. I think running has been really healing for me as well. I have been running a little bit, not as much as I usually do because the heat has been kind of oppressive. But yeah, long walks, running. I kind of wish I had a trampoline now because that sounds really fun. um, but it's true because, I'm also seeing some comments here about addressing things, like Nancy mentioned, addressing things that she has tried to bury. And that really resonates with me because I noticed that there were quite a few weeks where I knew that the intention of the tasks were to take it there. And I had a lot of resistance where I was like, I could either keep this at surface level and I could get it done, or I could, take it there. And when I chose to take it there, those were the weeks where I felt the most tired. I didn't have the motivation to come up with an elaborate artist date. I didn't have, a lot of motivation to really do much else, because it just takes so much emotional energy and it's so draining to do that. And I think it just again always reminds me of that window of tolerance, like when you're working with someone who has experienced trauma, like you don't want to open the lid and then not close it up and have them leaving destabilized. And so I think that's why it's so good that you bring it up, Leanne, because it reminds me of like when you're processing with someone, then you can kind of get to a point where you're closing the lid essentially and making sure that you're not walking around kind of like destabilized basically. And I think there were times when I felt like my lid was not completely, like I always felt like I was within the window of tolerance, but there were definitely some times where I felt like I took it to a really difficult place.
Yeah, it's being open and willing, daring to go to those difficult places, which can be destabilizing for sure. I'm also realizing too, it's not only kind of the awareness of these parts that show up, these emotions, but then now it's also the follow through of, wow, I have this, I'm confronting something, and that can be eye opening and it can be difficult. But then also it's the follow through of, okay, if I have recovered my inner child, or if I have recovered or discovered my creative self, then what is it like? What does it look like? And I love that we still have 6 more weeks to have more hand holding, more guidance, more support in that way of like, how do we then continue to be in relationship with these parts, these emotions? So it is like my younger self continuing to tend to her, but it's also these eye-opening emotions that get brought up of like, oh, wow, okay, I have to confront this. And a lot of times with these emotions, at least for me, it means I have to do some confrontations with some relationships, some deep, meaningful relationships of saying, okay, I'm awakening to the fact that what I'm experiencing right now is valid. It's heartbreaking. It's difficult. And what's necessary is if I am confronting it, then I have to pay attention. And now what? How do I honor this feeling? How do I honor this feeling and tend to it? And I think part of that for me has been communicating that with some of my important relationships. And that's definitely risky, but I'm telling you, I'm trusting the process and that it's bringing more clarity and it's bringing, I think, more clear access to the foundation of these relationships. So it's been difficult. Oh my goodness. And yeah, it's like I'm willing to go there. I'm going there and I'm finding that it's connected to relationships. And so then, okay, I got to go there too. I mean, do I have capacity? And I think one thing that I'm trying to remind myself is I don't necessarily have to do it all now. And I do have time. And just thinking about, how the pinch point tends to be time. But then also I'm trying to remind myself that there is like an abundance of time as well. I don't have to do it now. It's not of what if what if I don't have the chance later? I'm trying to give myself some grace and capacity there. But yeah, I think about that too. It's connected to our relationships, like relationship to self. But then at least for me, it's like some of these key relationships in my life. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's a really good point. No, that's really good. Like, I think that is important to remember that these are these are we are being asked to do things that we're not comfortable. We're being asked to step outside of our comfort zone and to put in this emotional work and to make these changes. And change in general is hard. Like, generally people don't like to change until they're pushed into a corner and they're forced to change. So now we're trying to have the motivation to change. We're trying to, you know, like lean into the change. So I think it's really important to remember, like, we don't have to do it all at once. To your point, like, take some time to consider the change. Take some time to wait till you're ready to see it through. Because yeah, like if you try to change every area in your life, then it's just going to be harder than it needs to be. And I appreciate that reminder, because I know that sometimes when I get the motivation to change, I just want to do all of it right away. Like, if I have motivation, tomorrow I'll make the change, but maybe I won't be ready for the fallout, and maybe be I'll be more likely to take that step back and almost come away with the message of, oh, that change was bad because it made me feel bad, and why did I even bother? So now I'm just going to go back to the way things were before. So it's also just not really setting myself up for success.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm seeing Hope say, well, let me just highlight this. I don't think my husband realized he was also doing the artist way. Totally. Oh my goodness. So many conversations I've had with my husband of like, oh my goodness, this came up. And honey, we need to talk.
It's true.
I'm telling you, the transformation is happening even in my marriage too. And I'm telling you, it's hard work. It's hard work. Oh my word. But I think I'm noticing the change, and that's been really gratifying. It's scary though. It's really scary. But yeah. I also just wanted to say I saw that Fountain Pendulum is here as well. So I just wanted to say hi.
Yes. Hello, Galen. Thanks for joining. Emily says, sorry to say it doesn't really get better. Actually, I appreciate the heads up.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. So true. Doesn't get better, but it gets different. Different things are hard than before. Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
I want to ask, do you all have a clear goal behind the process? Would that change the process?
You have a clear goal behind the process. I think for me, my goal was honestly just reading the cover, A Course in Discovering and Recovering Your Creative Self. I think that was my goal. I just want to discover that part of me, and I want to recover that part of me. And how it was going to look like, I had no idea. And am I there? I do feel like I'm in the lane. I'm in the zone. I am in that process, and so I do feel like I'm meeting that goal as we speak.
I think this is why I appreciate that we're doing it together, because I think when I was considering taking on the artist way, I had a very almost like linear view of what it was for, and I was like, oh, it should be if I'm having writer's block, or if I'm having some kind of art block, then I should do the artist way to unblock myself. And I was thinking that's what it should be for, and that was stopping me from starting the program, because I was thinking like, oh, I want to wait until I have something I'm blocked in before I embark on the artist's way. And this is based off of like never reading the book. Like, this is just a bunch of assumptions that kind of sort of held me back. And hearing you, Leanne, say that made me more, it just kind of opened up that it could be a much more broad type of goal, like just rediscovering something within yourself or your creative self. And so I'm going to say that I have a similar goal now, which is really just going along for the ride and seeing what comes up. And I think that was what was shocking, is how like how much we've been getting out of it, even without like a really specific like goal in mind.
Right.
Or at least in the way that I had thought about it before.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask you a question?
Me?
Yeah.
Sure.
And ask a question for everyone too. I'm curious, anything that has surprised you, or maybe thinking, okay, if this is about discovering, recovering your creative self, what did you think at the beginning of our journey? What did you think that might look like? But anything that surprised you, anything unexpected.
I think the unexpected was how much it has been applicable to other areas of my life. Again, I think I would have been very single-minded about it, and I don't think that's wrong. I just know that that's how I would have approached it, is I would have really tied it to something, because I always need like to have a purpose when I take on a challenge. So I think seeing how the synchronicities would happen between my my work life. So even though that's not necessarily like a creative self, it's still applied. And so I think it's just been a very like all-encompassing kind of journey. And I think I just assumed it was going to be something really specific to art.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I didn't anticipate that we talk so much about revisiting our childhood memories and experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the excavation exercises, or the archaeology exercises about, what were your favorite movies growing up? This past week, talking about some of the things that you longed for or didn't get as a child, I thought, wow, I didn't realize that accessing our creative selves meant accessing or digging into some of these really formative, painful parts of our lives. Of course it makes sense, but Julia Cameron just makes a connection just so beautifully and clearly. I just didn't expect so much childhood excavation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't think I did either. I don't think I really thought about it, which isn't fair to say, but yeah, I think that has been a really consistent theme.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm seeing something from Hope. I want to ask her this. I want to ask Hope this question. So they were saying, I was not expecting this to impact the relationship I have with art in my community. How so? Can you share the relationship that you have with art in your community? Like, how is it impacting that? I'm curious. Yeah. But yeah, so I just didn't. Sorry, I'm checking Alison to see if there's something you're about to say, but it looks like you were reading the comments.
Yes, sorry about that. I was just trying
No.
to catch up.
Yeah. I'm curious to know if there were any tasks so far that really jumped out, or anything that or your most memorable task that you did or homework, or a most memorable artist date, kind of one of the most significant ones from weeks 1 to 6?
That's a really good question. Um, hmm.
Um,
I think once it's hard for me to pick like a most memorable, but I will say that once I absolved myself of having to go on an excursion, again, I don't know why I got so literal with it, but that really tripped me up for the first little while. And I appreciate everyone's suggestions and sharing what they were doing for their artist dates, because it really made me feel more validated in that I could just do whatever I wanted as long as it was essentially like feeding my creative soul. So, um, for me, I think it's the joy that I've gotten out of doing the artist date. So whatever activity I've selected, it's really been fun to engross myself into it and just enjoy it for what it is without having to tie some kind of meaning to it. And that freedom has been wonderful. So whether it was that little like book nook, I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there. I should have turned it on. It's just like sitting down and basically doing a 3D puzzle, I think is what you could say. Um, or painting for the sake of painting, like just not worrying about how good it looks or how bad it looks. Or I did show all of you, but not like I didn't paint it thinking, oh, it better be nice enough for me to show someone. And even this week 7 task, I turned one of the tasks. It was like a collaging kind of task. I counted that as my artist date because it did take quite a bit of time, but it was just really enjoyable. So I think it's not as intimidating as it was, because for some reason the artist date was really intimidating for me. The idea of like, yeah, taking yourself out on this really special excursion just felt overwhelming to me.
Because you were just wanting it to be just right, or high expectations?
I think so. Like, I don't know if it was necessarily about it being just right, but I think I was worrying that I needed to do it right. And, I'm sure that taps into the perfectionism. And I know that was a theme in week 7. But there was definitely an element of, just wanting to do things properly instead of just thinking more like, what do I want? I think I was still thinking, what does Julia want me to do?
Right.
And to separate myself from that was very freeing, to be like, here's a general guideline. And it doesn't have to be exactly.
Yeah. We don't, I was thinking, we don't have, some of us might not have the luxury of being able to go to like a mountaintop retreat or cabin and be able to journal for the whole winter, or, in the way that I think Julia had talked about doing in the beginning. Like, that is just such a wonderful, that's a dream. I would love to. But I think the whole idea, even if her experience or her life experience is very different from mine, I think about the idea of retreating, or just, taking a separating yourself from the everyday a little bit, or rather retreat, not necessarily meaning I'm going somewhere or taking myself out all the time, but I am thinking about, like taking time out of my day to reconnect with my artist self. So I think in the beginning, I did struggle a lot, like what counts as an artist date or not. And a lot of times I would say, well, I kind of did something, but it doesn't really count. But I'm finding now that it's more that, especially now that we can take a step back and say, okay, it's been 6 weeks now. Even yeah, it wasn't the point of like whether I did it officially or not, but I think even the exercise of having that as something in my mind or my schedule that week, I was more mindful of practicing my creativity more that week. Earlier, like it was maybe week 3 or 4, I shared the little coral sketchbook that I bought, and it now stays in my bag all the time. And what's also fun, and I never really thought about it, is when I share it with, folks who are visiting from Seattle, I'll share this Artist's Way. I mean, I'm talking about it all the time. It's in conversation with everybody. And I think that's kind of cool. So it's not my husband who thinks that they're on the Artist's Way, but it is like the folks that I meet at these gatherings, or it's reconnecting with old friends. But I'm just thinking about this now. When I share what I'm doing, it is in a way kind of sharing, look at what little Leanne is doing.
Yeah.
Look at what, almost in the way that I would think of like this child that I'm really proud of. Like, look at her artwork. So in this way, it's not that I'm showing off. It's just more sharing. Look at what Leanne is doing these days. And so I think my inner child is really pleased with that.
I love that.
I know.
It's like you're champion for you're championing your younger self. That's
totally. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am so sorry. I'm just gonna have to pause for 1 minute. We just have some workers here, and I need to.
Of
Sorry,
course.
1 moment. I'm so sorry, everyone. I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, I will go back to some of the messages here. So Home to Heather says, my mother randomly, synchronously gave me a photo of myself at 3 or 4. I've tacked it to a board near my monitor, and it reminds me to think about my inner child and to provide her with what she needs. I love that so much. I'm curious to know, Home to Heather, if you can describe that photo of yourself at 3 or 4. I think I would love to just hear the context or maybe the description of this photo. Like, is it just you maybe eating a bowl of cherries, or is it you out in in your backyard playing? I'm curious. Is it you sitting on your parents' lap? I think it's just me visually wanting to kind of imagine this photo myself. But I love that you tack it to a board, to a place where you can see it regularly. And I actually will bring an artifact that reminds me, and I have it right here. So I'm here. I'm just going to the other side. So I wanted to share this just because of what Home to Heather was just mentioning. I have this this little plaque. Yeah,
Is that you?
This was me when I was 4 years old. I was probably 3.5, 4 years old. I'm about to choke up. I'm about to like tear up right now, but this is something that I've had kind of tucked away in a closet. And right now it's sitting on my like creative desk. But right now my creative desk is just stacked. I found this when I was actually decluttering. And that's another thing about the Artist's Way. I feel like with the Artist's Way, whether she mentions it outright and encourages us to do it, it has become like just an impulse, like a reflex for me. Like I want to be purging and get rid of some old things that have not been fitting me, suiting me well, ill-fitting outfits. That was what Julia talks about. But then also just things in the house that have just been so stagnant. And so anyway, I recovered this. I discovered it, and I'm trying to figure out like where I could post this.
Right behind you.
Oh, you're right behind me. Oh my gosh.
How cute would that be?
Cute. Oh my goodness. And what's funny is now that as I think about it, I remember me as a 3.5-year-old with my preschool teacher helping me to make the impression. This is if I sit here too long to think about my memory here, I'm definitely going to tear up here. But yeah, talk about a lasting impression here. Like, oh my gosh.
That's amazing.
This here. Oh my gosh, look at it's just.
Oh, I wonder if you should do like a follow-up one.
Oh my word, you're right. I should. That's a great idea. Yeah. Anyway.
I have to agree. Like, even my partner, I'm the messy one in our relationship, but even my partner has been commenting more frequently, like, it's looking a little cleaner and it's looking like less cluttered, because it's just been this ongoing, like, it's almost like the side story where it's just constant decluttering now. It's like I
Mm-hmm.
just needed that extra push to finally start. And yeah, it's I've been digging up some old, nothing as great as like a handprint from my younger self. But there have been some old journals, like old artwork, old notes. Yeah, it's been really cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah, just don't drop it. I will not drop it, Marilyn, darling. Yeah. Let's see here.
Ooh, okay. Hope has started taking watercolor classes and
Ooh,
has bought art from 4 different artists.
that is cool.
And starting, okay, I'm inspired. I actually have been wanting to take a pottery class for years, and there's a new-ish pottery. I didn't even realize this. But yeah, there's a newish pottery studio that has opened up like within minutes of where I live. And I was saying to my partner, I think like within the next, I don't have a timeline because I haven't looked into how much the classes cost, but I'm like, I have to take it now. It's right there.
How far away is it?
Like, it would probably take me 5 minutes to walk
Oh,
to.
wow.
Yeah, it's that close.
Oh, that's a gift.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. And it's right by a really great coffee shop. So I feel like, yeah, I definitely want to take, I will take a pottery class. That has been on my bucket list forever. Hope you have inspired me.
Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, Miss Marilyn Darling has been teaching calligraphy on TikTok as an artist date.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, that's lovely. That's great.
Yeah, please share your TikTok account.
Hmm.
It'd be great to check it out.
Are you on TikTok? I'm not on TikTok. I need to get on it.
I mean, I have an account, but I'm not on it, if that makes sense. Like if
Mhm.
someone sends me something, I usually will go on, but it's an overwhelming platform, which I know makes me sound old. um okay, week 6, Hope says week 6 was amazing. A bookstore I love hosts local artists. I've lusted over one painting for months. Week 6, you bought it. Nice. Beautiful luxury that has brought so much joy over the last week. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see Nancy is going back to work. Nancy, thank you so much for joining us.
Bye. See you later. Oh, yeah. I mean, that makes sense that for Hope, she's talking about more engagement with her community. So as you are recovering your own creative self, you start to notice, you start to appreciate more,
Mm-hmm.
reconnect with other folks externally. So so it's those external relationships that you either rekindle or discover too. Um, yeah, I would love to be able to buy works of art from local artists.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's nice that you have some art that you really admire at your local bookstore. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Home to Heather says, I'm in a Scrappy Doo nightie wearing my dad's cowboy hat, standing in front of the record player and TV.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
cute.
I'm curious. I don't know about you, Allison, but I'm wondering if you would, not to put you on the spot, but if we can maybe bring like a picture of our younger selves to a future conversation, possibly. I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I think I'm sure I could dig up something.
Mhm. Yeah.
I had a bowl cut. I know that.
Adorable. I did have a mullet. My mom did try to cut my hair once, and she gave me a mullet. That was not cute whatsoever. So I don't know if I'll share that photo. Bowl cuts are absolutely adorable. Yeah.
I don't think I thought that way as a kid, but yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm sure it'll be interesting to look back.
Yeah. Um,
Oh,
yeah,
Hope had a bowl cut too. Okay, I'm not alone.
that's so cute. Well, to be honest, my son, because for a long time, actually, he did not want to go to a stranger for a haircut, so I always cut his hair. He had a bowl cut for a long time until 12 years of age. So
Oh,
the only haircut I could give him that I could do competently. So it was definitely, yeah, the tradition lives on. Yeah, he had a bowl cut for a long time. Yeah, anything else coming to mind for you, Allison?
I mean, I guess you kind of asked this already, but um, is there a particular moment or exercise that really stood out to you?
Mm, that's right. I didn't share. Well, I think the first thing that comes to mind is just that beautiful moment where I saw my Wendell Berry Sycamore poem, and
Mm-hmm.
I decided to read it impromptu, and I read it, and it was just really moving. I saw that it was really moving for you, and I reread it, and I shared it with folks afterwards after sharing it with you. And it was my desire to go to the University of Washington campus because after reading it out loud, I was wondering where are sycamore trees in Seattle? And I found that there was a row of sycamore trees that were planted 100 years ago on the University of Washington campus. And so I wanted to make a trip out there as an artist state. I ended up not going for a couple of weeks, but then just by happenstance, I was on campus with my family. And even though it wasn't an artist date, I was able to break away from the group just to go walk up Memorial Way Drive, to go touch a sycamore, to take a picture. And I just thought that was a wonderful full circle moment, something that don't think I ever would have done, because it was in reading it out loud with you that I was noticing its impact
Mm-hmm.
on us, and how it was impacting me. And then it really prompted me to dig and to then walk to a sycamore tree and to put my hand on its gnarled bark. That was really kind of a touching moment for me.
I
Yeah.
love that moment. And when you read, thank you for sharing that, because as you're retelling it, I'm remembering all the feelings that I associated with that first week when you read that poem. I was very moved by it. And to think that that lived with you throughout the journey and you eventually like reconnected to it in a different way and you were actually able to see a tree in person, and the fact that it was on your university grounds, like I just think all of that. And then it was also when was it when you were visiting because your daughter was thinking about potentially attending it?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Full circle on many levels.
Yeah.
Rings, many rings. Yeah. Oh, bye home to Heather.
Bye home to Heather. Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us. Yeah. And even to this day, just walking in a park, I'm wondering, oh, is that a sycamore tree? So that the sycamore is definitely that is the tree to just mark this journey for me.
Mhm.
So yeah. So now when I go to other parts of the country, I'm going to be looking for a sycamore tree. So I would love to be able to kind of create a little album of sycamore trees that I
That would
see
be so great.
out in nature. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, what do you hope, because you and I haven't read anything,
Mm-hmm.
what do you hope to get out of the remaining, I don't know, 5 weeks, 5-ish weeks that we have left.
Yeah, 5 weeks. I I have for, I think for our time together, I have really thought of the artist way, not just as like a hike, to summit a mountain, but I do think about the marathon, just running a marathon. And it feels like where we're at right now is like the arduous middle,
Mm-hmm.
miles. For me personally, it's like 16 to 20 miles, 15 to 20, where you're kind of done with the running. And usually when you think about crowds along a marathon path, there aren't many kind of in the middle. You have a ton at the beginning cheering you on, and then you have a ton at the finish line. So when you're running that arduous middle, it's can be boring. That's when I really feel like a lot of my mental supports have to come through, whether it's like my mantras, whatever it is, things to just get me one foot in front of the other. I feel that way right now. But my confidence, my hope, and I think my hope right now is that I can really finish strong. And what I mean by that too is I am a little fatigued with the tasks. I'm fatigued a little bit with the reading. It's still really good, but I don't have that sort of energy that I did kind of earlier on, which is, I think, to be expected. And so I'm not going to be hard on myself with that. But I'm also finding that with life is also really full. So I've just slowed down a lot. But I'm wondering and I'm hoping that hopefully in the next couple weeks, I have this renewed energy where I am accepting that this is kind of where I am, the fullness of summer life right now. I'm going to find ways to kind of rise above that and still be really committed to doing all my tasks, doing the morning pages every day. So that's my hope, that I find some sort of system that helps me to work with just the schedule or lack of schedule for the summer. And I'm really excited to see who we will be at the end of our 12 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like there's been so much transformation already. And yeah, so that's my goal, that I find a new way. I kind of experience a new, like some fresh air to recharge the next phase of the marathon of this journey. But yeah.
I love your analogies so much, Leanne.
Mhm.
Are you like I I love this visual that you painted of that sort of grueling in between section.
Mhm.
And yeah, I'm just riding along with it, and I'm thinking, because I am also fatigued, and I think I'm leaning a lot to um, this community at this point. And I've said this a lot, and I keep repeating it because I think that's really what's keeping me going. And I hope that I can find a little more energy myself, maybe take a gel,
Mhm.
take a gel, let it kick in. Remember that it's temporary, and also really just reminding myself that done is better than perfect, you know? So like getting through it is going to be a huge achievement. And if I if I don't go through each chapter perfectly, I'll still be better off having completed it than if I had given up. Um, so I'm also going to be kinder to myself too, and stop beating myself up if I don't feel like I've done enough. Um, but yeah, I'm looking forward to hopefully finding a renewed sense of energy. And it's also thinking too about what you were saying earlier on not having to do everything all at once, and then how some others have sort of started and stopped and picked it up when they felt ready. I've also been thinking about that a lot, and thinking this isn't the only time we'll ever do the artist way.
Mhm.
So if there's a particular chapter that feels meaningful, I see Hope is rereading chapter 1, um, to take some time to reflect on where she was. That's really smart.
Mhm.
But yeah, just thinking like this is the first time that I'm doing this, so I can also return to it
Mm-hmm.
and not feel like I have to do it all the first time around. Because I think I do feel that way. That's why I'm saying it out loud.
Mhm.
Because I do think there is a part of me that feels that way.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. Yeah, we have this manual. I mean, in a way, we are reading it. I mean, we are doing the tasks. We are going through each page, but also it's our first run through, and we will always be able to revisit it. I really do like Hope's idea of revisiting chapter 1, because then we can just reminisce, or just reflect on who we were at the beginning of the journey, and to see how much we have grown,
Mm-hmm.
because some of the words will just be read differently. Like, yeah, you're absolutely right, Julia. Uh-huh. Yep, I noticed that crazy maker show up time and time again, or this is a good reminder. So I think that would be great to
Mm-hmm.
circle back and just go back to the first chapter and just reread that.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Marilyn Darling says, choose acceptance and keep moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I have to read a chapter multiple times in order for it to click. Yeah.
That's true. That's true. All right. Any other thoughts? Anything else?
I think that's it for me for now. I'm sure I'll have more, but at this moment, I think I'm okay. How about you?
I'm kind of drawing a blank. I feel like we kind of said everything that we wanted to say. Um, yeah, I don't think that there's anything. I'm kind of drawing a blank, so maybe
Okay.
that's my sign. But
Yeah.
unless you think there's something else that we need to, or anything else that comes to mind for you.
I don't think so. Maybe we can chat stationery for a bit to wrap things up. But in the meantime, if any of you who are still here have any questions for us, um, yes, ask the questions. Okay, Hope asks, how are you feeling about your store? I had to think about that for a second. Are you referring to my stationery store that's in my office? I'm assuming that's what you're asking about. I'm loving it. So I have not uh I have not been tempted to buy anything new in a while, because okay, I got my amazing pen. That was obviously like a huge purchase. But since then, I've just been, as I'm sitting at this desk, I can actually see the stationery store in the corner of my eye. And it's lovely, because I feel like anytime I just want a little spark of inspiration, or if I just want, um, I don't know, to feel like window shopping, basically, I kind of have this sort of built in beautiful artifact to look at. And that's kind of part of my stationery share. But let me just pause and see if there's anything else. Sydney says, are you guys going to revisit with another live when you complete the book? Yes, we would
Yeah.
love to. If there'd be interest, let us know too. And if you have any questions ahead of time, please feel free to leave them. If there's enough interest, we would be, I think, yeah, we would love to.
Mm-hmm. Totally. Oops.
Um,
Okay. Dr. Osophiliac? Drosophiliac? Thanks for the convo. They listen while doing chores and filling out their planner.
nice.
I'm glad. I'm glad we were in the background as you were tending to some chores. You know?
Yeah, thank you for joining.
Yeah.
Um,
Wait, what was your question, Allison? You asked one more thing. Is that what it was?
I
No?
think no, I don't think so. But we can chat about the stationery
Oh, that's
if you
right.
want.
Stationery. Yes. Well, share yours, please.
Okay. I have a few like small ones, but I'll keep them short. So I'll share the first one because I think you'll appreciate this, Leanne, and everyone else. But
Huh?
obviously, we all know Leanne is the queen of like ink things. So I've been looking for a new ink for my new pink pen.
Mhm.
And after watching a million videos, I did see that a few were pairing my new pen, my Hachimanjia, this one, I have it right here. This beautiful pink pen. They were pairing it with Kobe strawberry chocolate, which is this beautiful pink ink. And of course, there was a part of me that immediately wanted to buy it, but it's so expensive with shipping to get it from the Nagasawa store. And even though I have now learned that Pinky Elephant sells it, I'm just going to pretend I don't know that. Plus, I'd have to pay shipping to get to Canada. So I went to my store
Yeah.
and I took some of my Pilot Era Shizuku inks because I know the writing experience is going to be great, but I didn't feel like they quite had that pink that I was looking for. So I experimented with a bunch of different mixes, and look at all these beautiful pinks.
I love it.
They're not as they're not as nice as your like circle, your beautiful.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
But I just had the best time playing, and this is the one that I inked it with first, which is a mix of Hana Ikata. I don't think I'm pronouncing it right, and Fuyu Seogen.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it's just turning like what was once a very bright, almost like highlighter pink, to a more muted, like mauve pink.
Mm-hmm.
And I've just been having the best time. And so I inked it up, and I've been doing morning pages with it, and it's just the best writing experience. And I'm so glad that I was able to produce like all these different colors to play with. So that was my first update, and my second update is I finished my first insert for my morning pages.
Oh, lovely. That is the
So
best feeling.
yeah, so I'm finished, and I ended up grabbing another Good Impressions because I had one more, and I decorated it. So I just wanted to show everyone.
Oh.
And it was also fun because I got to go to my store to pick an insert, and I'm just having the best time.
Oh my goodness. I love that. I ever since you got your secretary desk, I have been visiting my Facebook marketplace every single day, looking, looking. But just now, as you were just sharing, I realized, oh, you know what? I have a desk already, right, where I have all of my stationery supplies, and I have like storage and little organizers. I can create a little stationery store with the little spot that I have already. So
Yes.
I appreciate you, just your inspiration, and just thinking, well, you know what? I already kind of have a designated spot. Why don't I just turn that into kind of like a stationery store, just like Allison? So I'll figure that out,
Yeah.
and I'll get back to you on that.
Please do.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Oh, okay. Hope Murray says, I bought my first Stalogy notebook from Morning Pages. It's been really fun to try a new paper. I put one of my newly painted watercolors, on the inside cover. Oh, it'd be so great to see. It'd be so great to see that. I think when I'm finished my Good Impressions inserts, I'm
Mhm.
thinking about trying a Stalogy notebook
Mm.
because I saw that Tiffany from Toxmot took an A5 Stalogy and had it cut down to a TN standard. And I've been
Mhm.
wanting to try that, but I've not really had a reason to. But as soon as she showed that, I was like, morning pages. Like this would be because it'd be more pages. And I think the Stalogy paper is really nice to write with too. It's got like really thin paper, and I could probably fit a lot more
Yeah.
days in there. So I'm
Mhm.
gonna be there with you, Hope, as soon as I'm done this one.
Yeah, I will. I would be curious. I do have a Stalogy notebook, but I've yet to write anything long form in it. Right now, I mean, not to be boring because I've already shared it before, but I just have to say right now, my favorite, if I were to create a current favorites video, it would include the MD notebook paper. I've always been like a Hobonichi person. I've loved it. And I'm almost done with my MD notebook. Granted, I do write pretty big and swirly. This is unlined, so it gives me a lot of I just tend to write bigger. And but I've really liked writing on it. It's so fountain pen friendly, and I like the little bit of extra tooth. And I'm getting now that I'm almost done, I actually ordered a few more notebooks, MD notebooks from Atlas Stationers, and I got lined version. I'm trying them all actually, lined, dot grid, gridded version. There's even like a boxed version, something. Anyway, I'm trying them all, and
Nice.
I'm going to figure out which one I like, but I'm almost done. And I started this at the beginning of June. And so it took me a little over a month to finish one notebook. So I'm really excited about it.
Isn't it satisfying to finish?
It was so satisfying.
I
Yeah.
felt so happy to finish. Like I don't like I bought 4 Good Impressions back when I bought it. And the first one I used last year. And I think that took me almost 6 months to finish. I don't know. I can't remember, but it felt like forever considering it wasn't a thick book. This one, 2 months, maybe 3.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm definitely loving with the morning pages, because I get so much satisfaction in just just thumbing through the paper and to see all of it filled. And so Hope, I just want to let you know, I do have a Stalogy notebook. So now because of this A5 cover, I'm looking for other books that'll fit it. The Leuchtturm soft cover A5, unfortunately, it doesn't have enough pages. So it's a little bit too small in here. I could manage, but it's a little, like, the leather cover is a little too flimsy and loose for it. So I'm gonna try. I've already tried the MD paper and I love it, the MD notebook, but I do want to try the Stalogy A5 as well, because it fits in here perfectly. And this is going to be a lifelong companion. So this cover. So I'm definitely committed to the A5. But yeah, that is my share, because the MD notebook. If I were to create like a top 5 favorite stationery or journaling video, this is definitely going to be in it, the MD notebook, and possibly the Stalogy once I give it a try.
You're kind of really making me miss it. I do love the MD paper. But I also really love, I don't know, I just love paper. I guess we all love paper. I tried one Stalogy notebook. It was for like client notes. So it's been shredded now, but I really loved it. Like just I don't know, that it had a really nice, like, flipping tactile feel. I never like ink tested it. Like I never made swatches or anything. So I don't know how the properties show up, but yeah, love it. Drosophiliac, if I said your name right. I've been reconsidering my whole mini journal setup in favor of one chunky book. I had a bunch of A6 notebooks, and I'm doing a trial run in an old Hobonichi A5 before I commit to the book I want. Yeah, nice. I love a chunky book. This is the thing. Like, it'd be nice if I just loved one thing, and then I wouldn't get so like excited about everything. But I really love a chunky book, and that's why I was so in love with The Cousin when I first fell down the Hobonichi hole, because I was like, you can have everything in one. And I love seeing, oh, good. Oh, it's your musician name. Ooh, okay. Nice.
Nice. Good job. Way to pronounce it, Alison.
But yeah, I love it. I was initially not so keen on the small inserts, because I loved, like, I had a sterling ink, the biggest size possible for my traveler's notebook for a while, and I loved it, but it did take me a year to complete. And I don't know, it's very satisfying to flip through the big book, but I also really love the small inserts, because then you're constantly flipping through or cycling through them.
Right. I just want to note that the last string of messages or comments, there's so many numbers, like numbers, as in Hope wrote through 20 pens dry
That's
in June.
crazy and
Wow.
wonderful.
So then I'm wondering, are you more of like a broad nib or like a medium nib? You must be going through ink or, I mean, obviously a ton of ink, but 20 pens. Wow. I still haven't re-inked. I think I still have my Pilot Custom 823. And I have like another pen, but I haven't re-inked because I maybe once, only one, but it was a tiny little short ink cartridge. But that's amazing.
Oh, it
Miss
says MF. Sorry.
Oh, MF nibs.
Mhm.
Okay. MF as in like sailor. You must be writing with sailors. Sailor fountain pens for MF. Yeah.
I've been running through some of my pens. Like
Oh,
maybe
cool.
I don't fill up my custom as much, but I've written through I think 3 or 4 pens, but then refilled them and then written through them again. Yeah, 2 Pilot Custom 823s and a 743. Wow.
Wow. You are a profuse writer. I'm jelly. I'm a little
Yeah.
jelly. And then Miss Marilyn Darling said, I have reviewed over 2,000 inks. Just saying.
Whoa.
You are truly, when I talk about swatching, you are probably, I don't know of anybody else who swatched more inks, I think, than Miss Marilyn Darling. That's amazing. Um,
So I know who to go to if I have an ink request or a
oh
question.
yeah. Oh, definitely. I think when Simone had sent over a mystery ink, I sent it to, or I don't know if I sent it to Miss Marilyn Darling, but somebody had sent it to Miss Marilyn Darling, I think. Asking for some answers, like what ink could this possibly be? Um, but yeah, Miss Marilyn Darling has over 150 notebooks. So yeah, you definitely don't need more paper. So funny. Um,
Anna says, I write small and use an A6 notebook and write 4 pages a day. You know, again, I was wondering about that because because I get really caught up on the details. And I do sometimes think about things that probably don't matter, but I'm like, if it's 3 pages in an A5, then is it 3 pages in an A6 or like, what do you do?
yeah.
So I would probably write 4 if I were using an A6.
I admire folks who can write really small. Um, Abby C, for example, if you see her beautiful diary entries or journal entries, they're all in an A6, and her writing is just so beautiful and neat. I don't know how people can write that small. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, apparently the ink is still a mystery ink.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's hard. It's hard because I think the only way to really figure it out is by doing the paper blotting,
Oh,
um,
yeah, I
right,
see.
to separate some of the ink. Anyway. Hmm.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I can't write big. I actually, Leanne, I don't really write that big either. Like sometimes I can write bigger when I have thicker nibs,
Mhm.
but I find that my writing just tends to be smaller. Um, I don't know if it's like a containment thing. I don't know. That's why I think I prefer the grid because I'm like, okay, I can keep it within the grid. Um, but yeah, I would also wonder if I would feel accomplished with 3 because I do have quite a few A6 notebooks. I do have some blank Hobonichi A6 notebooks that I thought about using for morning pages, but there was a part of me that was like, no, I think I need a little more space to write because I tend to have a lot of thoughts,
Mhm.
so I usually do need more pages anyway.
Mhm.
Um, but if it's for like shorter journaling, I think I could do an A6.
Yeah. I think for me, the A5 is perfect. The blank I don't particularly like for journaling because I do need a little bit of structure.
Mhm.
So, but the A6, in our Hobonichi Techo dailies, I do love planning in there. And when I plan, I write very small and I write very neatly. And that's when, that's the only time I write small and neat. But otherwise, if I'm journaling, it's all cursive. But in my planning, it's actually really print. It's all print and it's very small. And that's why, and that's why I think for me with planning, smaller is better for me. Like A6, the Hobonichi Daily is perfect. And I am thinking about moving into like a weekly Midori insert next week, or not next week, next year for like A6 size. I think the regular size is too big for me.
Okay.
Interesting, because when I plan, I write really small, which is really interesting. Yeah.
Mahjong A2EF writes that small. I don't.
Huh.
Is that one of the like the click pens?
A2. I don't know about that.
Mahjong A2. Oh yeah, it's one of the. Okay, yeah. So it's kind of like the Pilot Custom style pen. Nice.
They do write really thin. They're really lovely, but they do tend to dry out really quick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the clicky pens.
3 pages in an A4 or an A6. These are questions that only stationery and fountain pen buffs have. It's true. I thought about this a lot when I was selecting my notebook. I think I was spending a little too much time on this, but it's very important.
It's really important. In A4, oh my gosh, talk about fear of the blank page. There's no way I would write in an A4. Oh,
yeah. I actually thought about getting the B5 common planner at one point, just because I love, like when I'm doing notes for work, I like having all my notes visible to me. I don't know if it's, so I don't know, the bigger the page, the better. So when they announced the B5 size, I was extremely tempted. And then I was like, what? I can barely keep my A6 as a planner. So I don't know why I think I need a B5, but there was something about that size with the small grid that was so alluring to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Wait, really quick. Miss Marilyn Darling writes 3 pages of A4 every day.
A4?
Yeah, but I've seen Miss Marilyn. I've seen your handwriting. It's pretty. It's beautiful. It's big. So I'm wondering, you must be more of like a kind of a bigger writer. Yeah. But regardless, A4. Wow, that's amazing. Except for the emotional week, they wrote 15 pages of A4. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anna says, I like A6 for this project because I want to carry the book around. That's what I love about, I know I sound like a salesperson or something for the travelers, but I really love this size because even on Mondays, I do my allergy shots. I have to do them every week for the foreseeable future, but it just fits like in my lap. So every time I get my shot, I have to wait 30 minutes before I can leave. And like, it just, I don't know. I don't know why I'm doing this, but it's so great, I have to say.
Yeah. It's so lovely. Right now, I can't venture beyond, honestly, beyond the morning pages. I don't know about you, but I haven't, oh my gosh, I had my Hobonichi 5-year journal that I haven't been writing in. I think I'm just so tired, but I think this is the only thing that I've been consistent in these days. But yeah, I cannot wait to get back into my traveler's notebooks. It's been a while. Actually, if I can do one more stationery share, it's more of like a shout out. Thank you to Job's Journal for talking about The Residence on Netflix. Is anybody watching The Residence on Netflix right now? But
I think I heard about this.
Yeah, Job was talking about how they were watching it and it was recommended to them because they heard that there was a traveler's notebook in there. And because of that, I went straight to the series to watch it, not knowing exactly what the premise was. I'm like, I'm just going to watch the first episode and see it. I love it. It's so funny.
Really? Okay,
really smart. It's a murder mystery, really quirky. The acting is wonderful. The writing is so funny and witty. And we're halfway through. There's 8 episodes, halfway through. And every time, just like Job, because Job in their video had noted, like, had even included video when they were watching it and how giddy they got. I got so giddy, and I'm talking to, my partner. I'm like, that's a traveler's notebook, regular size. Oh, that one's not. It's more of like a lookalike, but it's actually not the traveler's notebook. And I was looking for a fountain pen. Unfortunately, I haven't seen up until episode 4. I haven't seen a fountain pen in there, but I'm trying to figure out what pen they're using.
That's so cool.
I love it. It's a really fun series to watch. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I need to watch it too. Yeah. I heard about it, and then I'm slow with watching TV shows, but I just finished The White Lotus, and I know like everybody watched that when it first came out. So now we're watching Shogun, and then I think I'll add. Yeah, I know we're behind on that one too, but now it's called The Residence. The Residence?
The Residence.
Okay.
A murder takes place in the White House, and this quirky birding detective comes to the scene to solve the crime.
With the TN?
With the TN.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it so much. Yeah. Okay.
Let's see.
So Emily's binge watched The Residence while on a work trip to DC. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I love it so much.
Miss Marilyn Darling says it's college rule.
What is college?
The A4.
Ah, wow.
And then Hope says, I accidentally bought 3 A4 notebooks instead of A5s. So I'm using them to transcribe the Narnia books. That's cool.
Ooh,
I want to try a transcription project, but I can't decide. Like, I'm already overthinking what I would do, but I love the idea of it. So I need to pick a book.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought about, so I did transcribe. I transcribed a Maya Angelou book, but I think there's just, I don't know. It was kind of hard. My hand got tired. I'm thinking just to kind of shake it up a bit because I'm trying to learn, not right now, but I'm really wanting to learn Korean. And I think transcribing, I think a K-drama script would be amazing because then it'll help me
such a good idea.
Understand conversational Korean instead of maybe the academic Korean that you will learn in a textbook. But I've thought about that. Yeah. So that would be, I think, a great idea for me to try transcribing in a foreign language that I'm trying to learn.
I kind of want to take that idea.
Yeah.
I might try that with Chinese because I've been trying to learn Cantonese for so long. I can understand it, but I can't read or write it. And also formal Cantonese. I don't know if it's similar with Korean, but there's like a conversational with a lot of like extra sounds and words. And then there's the formal, which feels like a different language altogether for me. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, Emily says, I got the B5 Common Planner this year, but couldn't handle it. Oh, okay. Good to know, because I'm still tempted. I'm waiting to see what Catherine announces. But there's something about that B5 size that I really like. But yeah, it feels like it would be overwhelming. Now I'm in a B6 Wonderland 222, and while I love it, I think A5 is the sweet spot. Okay. I like the B5 size, but all my covers are A6 and A5. So that's been my like only way of not getting into the B6 size.
What is the B5 size in comparison to an A5 and a B6 to an A6? Are B's supposed to be a little bit bigger than A?
B5 is a little bit smaller than A6, and then B5 is much bigger than an A5. It's almost the size of like a sheet of 8.5 by 11 paper, if I'm not mistaken. It's a little smaller, but it's like quite, yeah.
Okay, so it's kind of like a Leuchtturm soft cover composition.
I think so.
Okay, I don't.
I think actually Catherine has a photo that shows, but yeah, it is like it's quite big. trying to I feel like there was a photo somewhere and it was helpful, but I don't know. It might be hard for me to find it on the spot. If anyone knows where that photo is, feel free to drop a link. But yeah, it's a gloriously big size. Like there's something like aspirational about it, I think, just seeing how big it is.
Okay. Yeah, if it is something similar to the Leuchtturm B, I think it's a B5 composition, then yeah, then I would agree. I do like that that size a lot. Yeah, I used it for not necessarily morning pages, but like there are times where I would just maybe just write a page in my journaling. But yeah, I do like that size a lot. Yeah.
Okay. Miss Marilyn Darling says, I love the travelers for going places. Agree. Anna says, my bag is smaller than a regular TN. I use passport size when it comes to travelers. Yeah, the passport size is a lot more convenient. I've never been able to journal in it. But I think I could potentially plan in it. I could see myself planning with a passport. I think you did at one point.
I did. And I actually really liked it. And I don't know why I went back out of it. I'm not sure. I actually don't know why, but I really liked it. Oh, because I was really trying to use it as an EDC. And I honestly don't know why I stopped using it, but I really liked it because
I remember you did a video on it.
I did. I used an undated weekly planner and I would use a zig dot marker to kind of for each day of the week, and then I would write in the date in that dot. And I really liked it. I like the way that my small planning print looked on the Midori cream paper. Aesthetically, it's so funny. It's all about aesthetics, you know, the way it feels and the way that it looks. So I would not be surprised if I were to actually go back to it next year, because I really love Hobonichi, but the paper has been really, I don't know, it's been disappointing for me. It's hit or miss. My 5-year Hobonichi paper bleeds like crazy.
Did they issue you a replacement?
No. Should I have done that? I didn't know that they did that.
I think they maybe you can still do it, but I'm pretty sure that they acknowledged that there was an issue and that you could send back your 5-year and they would send you a new one. But I think they only did it with the 5 years. So everyone else who had the bad paper, you're out of luck. But with the 5-year, I think they did offer an exchange. So maybe worth looking into. Well, because 5 years of having bad paper, like that would be unbearable.
But my consolation is that if not fountain pen, then at least my Jetstream, and I love the Jetstream in it. Jetstream on any paper, to tell you the truth. Yeah. So I've already committed. I'm already, it's already July, but I've at least written in it consistently through April. So there's just a treasure trove of memories I've already committed to. But I think I'm okay with it because I'll just use the ballpoint anyway.
Yeah.
Wow, it's almost like 2 live streams in one. Here we are talking about stationery.
I know. Well, if everyone who's still here, thank you. I know it's been a longer live stream, so really appreciate your time. Let's. I'm just gonna quickly go through the rest of these. So, okay, Emily saw Job's Journals video. Binge watch the rest. Oh yeah, you already mentioned that. Hope says, oh my God, murder, mystery, and TN, sign me up. Yeah, me too. Miss Marilyn Darling says, Star Trek Strange New World is coming soon. I am not up to date with Star Trek, but I did watch, I don't know which series, but I did watch one of the series that I was, I can't remember all the names.
Well, I don't watch Star Trek. Unfortunately, I don't know what it is about like extraterrestrial, like sci-fi. Somehow it's like my brain shuts off. So maybe I need to dedicate some morning pages to it to like wonder, why do I shut down when
so it's like an actual reaction for you?
Yeah, we've tried to watch Star Trek, or we've tried to watch even Dune. Oh my gosh, I hope I don't lose subscribers because I'm telling people that I fall asleep to Dune or even The Hobbit, even though that's not extraterrestrial. But maybe I need to dedicate some morning pages to see why I just shut down. I don't
Is
know.
it like fantasy in general, like just something unrealistic?
I think it's because it's fantasy, but you know what? I've never really given it a real try. So I'll give it a try. But the rest of my family, I mean, Star Trek, Star Wars, Expanse, um, Andor, all of
Andor is such a good show.
that. I
Yeah.
know.
I mean, if you're into it, and
I'm
it's
missing
okay to
out.
have different preferences.
Well, that's true, but also it might be nice for me to like try to venture out. Yeah.
Um, and it's impossible to get TN here in Argentina. Oh, that's too bad. So I use a lot of local brands. Well, that's good for local brands. I've got a couple of passport size notebooks in Japan earlier this year, but I don't want to use them up. Silly me. I get it. I get it. They're so precious. It took me, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's not silly. Just saying.
I know it's not silly. I have some in storage. And when the time is right, use them and it feels good to use it too.
Hmm.
For example, I got some really nice Travelers company stickers when I was in at the Starbucks Reserve Roastery in Tokyo. And I saved them for a long time. But then with the Artist's Way, I decided just to I used them all. I used them all and smacked maybe 4 or 5 on a single notebook. And it was also really gratifying. So when the time feels right, use it. Yeah, when the time feels right.
I love the idea of using it. And if um, I've seen someone else scan them first, so that's like one way to potentially preserve them. I didn't do that, but I really love the idea. And I was also going to say, I've seen some people take the staples out and preserve the covers. So I think I saw Lindsay Scribbles turned one of the covers into like a folder. So then you're kind of saving the precious piece of it, but then you can maybe reuse the paper with a regular cover instead. So you can kind of enjoy both, but potentially like preserve the cover of
Oh,
the
that is
insert.
such a wonderful idea. Is that in one of her YouTube videos?
I think it was in one of her Patreon
Uh,
videos that I saw it. And I
okay.
was like, why? Because I love the idea, because you know how the sticker release paper books are really boring with the pink?
Mhm,
I was
mhm.
thinking, I haven't done it yet, but I thought it would be a great idea to actually take one of the beautiful covers from like a Japanese insert that I got in Japan and then putting it on my sticker release paper. So
Great
yeah, I
idea.
wanted to share that idea.
Ah,
Um,
oh. Hope is asking how I feel about Tolkien's books. Um, wait, that's the hard. I can't get over the feet. The first image right now are like the hair on the feet. No, but that's not the reason why I can't get into the book. No, it's you know why? It's because the book, we do have the actual books in our library, but it's the way the edition, it's the legibility. It's really hard to read it. And we have a family of readers, and even my son, who loves all the books, he can't get over the type on it. So I'll have to actually just change, maybe get a more updated version of the book, and I think maybe I'll give that a try, because I do appreciate beautiful language, or like beautiful sentences when it's written well. So if at least for that, if I can transcribe beautiful sentences, you know, yeah. I can't get over the feet. No, seriously, I'm just thinking of like Sasquatch feet or Hobbit feet, whatever. Yeah.
well, now I'm thinking about it. Thanks, Leanne.
Yeah.
Oh, um, okay. Drosophiliac says Hypergraphia Squad.
Oh, where's that? Where am I?
Just under Anna.
Oh, Hypergraphia Squad. What does that mean?
I was also wondering.
Hypergraphia. Okay. Wow. I just
Oh, a
noticed.
condition. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean
No,
to
go
interrupt
ahead.
you.
Go ahead. Go
It
ahead.
says a condition characterized by the intense and sometimes compulsive urge to write or draw. Yeah.
Can you read that? I think I just associated for a second.
It says it's a behavioral condition characterized by the intense desire to write or draw,
Oh, yes, absolutely.
especially with fountain pens.
Oh, yeah. And even drawing with fountain pens. Oh, my word.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Miss Marilyn Darling says transcribe a poem book. I think that is a shout out to Leanne. Hope says tip for transcription: pick a short book for your first one. Yeah. So maybe don't do like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Miss Marilyn Darling says use your beautiful calligraphy. Drosophiliac says, oh my God, I want to learn a lang so badly. It's been so many years since I studied Mandarin. Me too. I've tried learning Mandarin so many times, and I think because it's I think because I grew up learning like my family speaks Cantonese, so even that has made it even harder to learn Mandarin.
Mhm.
Um, I've all but given up, but I shouldn't because Mandarin is so widely spoken.
Mm.
Okay, Miss Marilyn Darling says my favorite's composition book size. It's between A5 and A4. Oh my goodness, so many book sizes.
Ah,
Smaller. Oh, the smaller the number, the bigger it is.
yes, that's true. Because I guess the size of the paper, an A size paper is a certain dimension and a B size paper is a certain dimension, probably bigger. And so it's all about halves, right? So an A1 would be like the first fold, and then A2, A3, something like that.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know if any of you have read that a relatively new nonfiction book called The Notebook. But it talks about the history of the Notebook, and it talks about how way back when in the 1500s, 1600s, 1700s, probably 1700s, when folks would travel, they would, travel by boat, going, going, just traveling afar, and explore. What they would do is they would take just take sheets of paper, and they would fold it up a certain way. You keep it in your coat pocket, and you write all your entries. And when you got home with your folded sheets, you would then bind them and put them in your notebook. But when they mentioned that in the book, what came to mind were the Travelers Company notebooks. Because if you think about it, they're kind of that way, where you take maybe a refill or an insert for your travels, and when you come back, you can add it to your catalog, whether it's like the travelers like binders. But yeah, I thought that was really interesting that they probably came in like anyway, that's a tangent, but
No, that's really cool. Thank you. I want to read that now.
yeah.
Okay, I'm adding it to my to read list. The Notebook, History of Thinking on Paper.
Yes.
Not like the Notebook, because I read that when I was younger. To Nicholas Sparks.
Right.
Oh. Okay. Emily says, I haven't read The Notebook, but really looking forward to starting the Book of Alchemy after I finish The Artist's Way. I haven't heard of that.
Yes, it was written together in collaboration with John Baptiste, Grammy Award-winning artist, musician, and his wife Suleika Jaoud, I think. She wrote a memoir called Between Two Kingdoms. Oh, Stationery Dumpling is here. Hi.
Hi. That's what I did with my plotter this year. I traveled and journaled, and when I came home, nice.
Yeah, great idea.
That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Uh, well, yeah. So my daughter recently just came back from a Guatemala trip, and she's also writing in a 5-year diary, and also writes in like an A5 spiral bound notebook, journals every night. And instead of bringing both, right, both to Guatemala, she ended up just bringing, I gave her a little passport size refill, Serica Studio. It had a ginkgo biloba leaf pattern on it. And that's what she took to journal. And so now it's all dog-eared, 2 weeks worth of journaling. She brought it back, and I gave her the Midori, the binder, storage binder, I guess, for it. And so, yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, you don't want to bring your 5-year journal if you're going to go,
No.
or your whole journal system, ecosystem. That's the new term these days, right? Your journaling ecosystem.
Mm-hmm. No, it's so great. Like, I think I mean, I was always a TN fan, but I really fell in love with it again when I traveled with it. And I haven't fallen out of love with it since. Like, it's so versatile. Yeah, I love it. And
Yeah.
I did think the clip thing really bothered me, but it hasn't really bothered me ever since. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being stubborn about it and I'm pretending it doesn't bother me or something, but it really just doesn't.
Yeah, I've found that to be the case too. Just if I think the transition when you're starting out with it, it does feel a little clunky, but you get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I find it to be so endearing, charming to have the clips, and that
Mm-hmm.
tactile, the weight of a brass clip is so nice. By the way, I'm kind of having an out of body moment right now because I wonder if we should also just have a separate conversation live stream about stationery in general.
I think we should.
Fun.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I think we
Yeah,
should.
I think we should, just because I love getting all the feedback from the comments, and we're having just a lovely conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Paper Text Studio says, I tried the A5 for the first time this year, but sadly it didn't work out well. I used it for a couple months, but I realized that I'm grateful I was able to try, but not buying it again. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's good. It's good to try it. I mean, it is a bigger size, and I love the A5, but I don't think it's portable. I think if it felt a little more portable, I would be all in.
Right.
But I don't know. I guess I just want my notebooks to be perfect. I don't know.
So Paper Tech Studio, what do you normally use then? If you're trying the A5 for the first time, are you using something larger? I'm curious, and I'm wondering why it didn't work out for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, just for timing's sake, what do you think? Should we start wrapping it up soon?
I think so, but
Yeah.
it sounds like there's some interest in doing a follow-up stationery chat, so we can
Mhm.
definitely do that. I think we could probably talk about just stationery for hours, so
Yeah.
I think that would be really fun.
Yeah. Awesome.
We can
Okay.
do a follow-up.
Okay. Okay. They usually use their passport in regular size. Ah,
Nice.
okay. So kind of narrower margins, or a narrower width, I guess, is what they prefer. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, so Miss Marilyn Darling is saying they're going live at 1 p.m. Pacific, so come say hi. Yeah. Sounds good. All right.
Oh, Ohanami says, I'm in the middle of thinking of trying the Passport TN. I'm struggling with the dated version of my weeks. Yeah, it'd be good to know like what about the weeks you're struggling with and
Mhm.
how the Passport TN could potentially alleviate that.
Yeah.
Be a fun experiment.
Yeah. Huh. The dated version of the weeks. Oh gosh. Yeah. That's a totally different setup too.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. What were you going to say, Allison?
No, I was just gonna say thanks because yeah, Miss Marilyn Darling said thanks so much, or thanks, thank you guys for having this. This was so much fun. Yeah, we had so much fun
Yeah.
hanging out with all of you. So thank you for joining us on a Monday.
Oh yeah. No, totally. Totally. Oh, no, thanks for joining us, Hope. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Whoops. Hmm.
Yeah, that would be interesting for personal.
Mm-hmm.
And I thank you, Miss Marilyn Darling. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
thanks everyone for joining us.
we don't do live streams very often. So it's like, how do we wrap things up when we're having such a great time?
I
But yeah,
know. Thanks,
so
Emily.
thank you. Thanks everybody. I'm also curious if anybody has feedback for how we can maybe change our live stream or any feedback, you can email us or send us a message on Patreon. For me, it's leannelikes@gmail.com, but I would love feedback. We're always trying to improve just the process of live streaming and ways that we can connect. So yeah, if you have any feedback, please send them our way. And gosh, what else? Yeah, I mean, as far as like next, just kind of going forward, we're doing a follow-up wrap-up live stream when we finish the Artist's Way, and that'll be in another 6 weeks. Also, I brought up the idea of doing a stationery chat live stream. I think that would be really fun because the conversation it's really fun. It's really fun just to talk about all things stationery. Also, Miss Marilyn Darling is starting their live stream at 1 p.m. Pacific time today. So be sure to check out their channel. But yeah, anything else you wanted to add, Allison?
No, I think you covered everything. And yeah, I guess if maybe let us know either through an email or comment when you think would be a good time for us to do a follow-up stationery chat. We could certainly think about scheduling one soon and we can continue the chat because I think we all love this topic as well. Yes. Yes, we can definitely chat about our love for Pilot Custom Made 2-3s. Absolutely. I could spend an entire session just on that.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, so much gratitude. Thank you, everyone, for joining us and making this so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
And we will miss you on Wednesday, but we will be back next week on regularly scheduled time. Oh, wow. Oh, thank you for joining us at 9:44, I think.
Oh yeah, 9:44 p.m., right? Wow. Okay, awesome. Okay, so from Germany, at least our Europe friends, they can join us if it's mid-morning.
Okay.
Mhm.
Cool.
Wow. Okay.
See you soon, everyone.
All right. Take care, everybody. See you again soon. Bye.
Bye.